Hey, we are Bye Bye Plastic on 10 Days in Dance. We love to rave, but we also love the planet. We're helping artists, festivals, and clubs ditch single-use plastics for good. From eco-riders to plastic-free backstages. This is the new normal, and you can be a part of it. Sign the pledge, spread the word, and drop that plastic. Join the movement at byebyeplastic.life.
Hey everyone, it's time for another edition of 10 Days in Dance, your weekly / 10-day roundup of everything electronic dance music. It's been somewhat distorted though because we've been busy and all is about to be revealed why. My name is Adam K. Thanks for coming. Thanks for saying hello, and joined as ever by...
Hey guys, what's up? My name's Amy Farina. You might also know me as MC Unicorn.
Now, if you are a regular viewer / listener, then you know who we are. You know what we do. But for anybody who's just joined us, let me explain. We are deeply into electronic dance music. We live, eat, breathe, sleep it, and then wear the t-shirt and then clean our teeth with it. We are literally that involved with it. So when we say we know what we're talking about, that's because we are doing it 24/7. So much so that Amy has picked up a cold, living, eating and breathing and standing outside late night clubs. Isn't that right, Amy?
Yeah. So I got the A.D.E flu, the rave flu or whatever they call it. I figured I was going to get sick. I just accepted it. It's not so bad, but yeah, I did it to myself. I did not wear an appropriate jacket. I didn't want to wear a rain jacket. I didn't bring an umbrella. I was sometimes not wearing pants.
Hang on, just trousers.
Okay, no, you know what I mean? Like I was wearing fishnet stockings or stockings that time instead of wearing like proper pants. Although after AMF, I did put pants on. I just making rookie mistakes. Same thing with Tomorrowland and the Temu shoes. Just doing things I know, and then being around in large groups of people. But yeah, it's a slight cold. It's not so bad. I'm still up and running. Just taking it a little easy for now.
So let's reset because it's been a busy October. Well, it has been. October's now gone. However, let's reflect on the month that was because there's a lot been going on. Let's focus firmly on the recent Amsterdam dance event. So for anyone who doesn't know, Amsterdam dance event is a collection of events, not only nightlife, but also speaks, collaborations, showcases, all of that stuff. If you're an artist, you can put something on, invite people to come and see and listen and chat. And you can also just have that open conversation across the world because people from Mexico, USA, Canada, China, Japan, anywhere, Brazil, all cascade into Amsterdam and we have a great time. So that's where myself and Amy have been. I was spending time at the Tomorrowland Expo. If you came by and said hello, thank you very much. We met and greeted lots of people, lots of high fives, loads of DJs passed through. The videos are available. We'll share them on our Instagram and on our YouTube. So that's where I was at the Road Hode, which is a red hat. It was actually, I didn't know this, that building was a church and it was made to look like a house because back in the day, you weren't allowed to have a church in that location. Mm-hmm. So they hid it in a house. Very good. It's a lovely 3-story, 4-story building. So yeah, it was a pleasure to spend time there and I hope to be back there next year, which is actually A.D.E's 30th anniversary. Did you know that?
I did. And it was funny because I'm not even recovered from this one. And I already have in my email 2026. I'm like, oh, I can't even think about it right now.
Well, the dates are out there, aren't they? For if you're interested and we are talking about it now, the 30th anniversary will take place. And I'm looking for my exact dates. Yes, it is the October 1st through to the 25th next year. So there you have the official dates. Just put a little to-do or reminder in your diary for the 21st of October. And you can go from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't have to stay Saturday, Sunday. If you can, well done, because that means you're hardcore. Amy.
Yeah, I'm already thinking I'm not going to stay the whole time next year.
Amy, yes, tell us, how long did you stay? Because I arrived Wednesday and had to leave on Friday because Kevin DeVries was playing at Elro and I wasn't going. If I went there, I would have still been there now because I wouldn't have left. So when did you leave, Amy?
Oh, Elro was so good. I missed you for that. So I left my house Wednesday afternoon, and then I got back to my house Sunday morning at 7:15 in the morning.
Yeah, that's hard.
Hard. I did not stay for the Sunday, as we talked about previously, but I did do AMF on the Saturday. So I went straight from Wednesday afternoon, quickly checked into my hotel, went right from the hotel to the Danik pizza party, and then boom, 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 up until Sunday morning. And then, had a really rough journey back here.
But you say boom, 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 but that was only because you logged it in your calendar as boom, 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 boom. You literally laid it out wall to wall and forgot that obviously going from one place to another takes about 20 minutes. And that's lucky if you can even get an Uber, because they weren't really even though Uber were partners, they weren't taking short journeys, were they? They weren't doing the €5 journeys to like one place to the next. If you did an airport run, yeah, they were all in. But those €5 Ubers, they were not picking up. So how did you get about?
Yeah, so I mostly took Uber, which was really frustrating. Uber and Bolt. Bolt is a similar rideshare app, and it just took forever to find it. Sometimes you'd have to pay extra for priority. You'd have to call it early. They wouldn't pick you up. They would cancel. There was a lot of roads that were closed. So everything just took a really long time. When I could walk, I would walk, or when I could take the tram, I would take the tram. But things were just so back to back close to each other that wasn't always possible. And then obviously like late in the night, I would Uber back to the hotel. But yeah, it was very, very difficult to get around. Next year, I'm definitely going to find somebody who can drive me. That's actually what I did for Ultra Miami, is like just find somebody to pay to drive me around, because yeah, I'm definitely not doing that again. I wasted a lot of time with Ubers, and then just a lot of issues with those apps. So
Do you know what
not doing
though?
that again.
To be honest, like I tried to get an Uber to. This was on Friday. Tried to get an Uber to the airport, and that was €80 from Centre.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
I tried to get one which was literally like a 1.2 kilometer journey
Yeah.
from where I was to the train station, because I had my bag. I was like, is it available? And it looked like it's going to rain. And it was only half the price. So it was like €40 to go 1.2 kilometers, or €80 to go 45. It was bizarre. I don't think a car is the best thing in Amsterdam now. I'd not been to the Amsterdam dance event for 2 years, because Tomorrowland Brazil was always in the way. So this was a great opportunity for me to go for the first time in a long time. And there's a new Arrogance. It's called Amsterdam Arrogance. I've named it. And this is if you are traveling around in the morning. Obviously, there's the canals, or the grachts, as I like to call them.
Yeah.
So you've got lanes going up and down the canals, and there's no passing lanes because there's parking. Now, Amsterdam local city council needs to sort that out, because they need passing lanes. So you shouldn't have parking on the canals, in my opinion. That would allow people to pass. But if you're a delivery driver, the Amsterdam Arrogance comes out, because they don't care. I've got stuff to do, and that might be picking up a bike. It might be dropping off some food. You're not getting past until they're finished, and it takes as long as it takes. I'm like, wow. Okay, so we'd got a car and got out because we weren't going to get past, and obviously we're trapped in. So that was a little bit disappointing, but maybe that's just a sign of the times. I don't know. It's the first time I've been for an age. But yeah, getting around in the morning, no chance. But to just support all of that, an electric scooter or a foldable push bike, now you're talking. That's definitely a thing.
I was thinking that too. I mean, biking. I mean, I bike here where I live in The Hague. Biking in Amsterdam is a little scary, but I was thinking that too, like renting a bike or something. But the problem is like the rain and the cold, and like my outfits and all my stuff, and like maybe just having at least the option for some of the trips. But the problem is, once I'm out for the day for A.D.E, I'm out until the morning. Like I'm not going back to the hotel. Like I'm out for the entire time. And yeah, I just like, as much of a planner as I am, it's like impossible to like, you have to just accept that you're gonna have to wait for an Uber. And the delivery, I actually ordered a bunch of stuff for deliveries. That was me probably causing the traffic every day at the hotel. I was like in the morning ordering like Starbucks and stuff, and then in the middle of the night ordering like chicken sandwiches and like curly fries. So it's like,
Who are you? Who are you?
that's me holding up all the delivery drivers.
Like, what? Did you not just get something on the way home?
No, because everything was like it was like in the middle of the night. And no, like basically I would wait until no, this is really bad. I'd wait until I was like in the Uber, and then start to look in the apps to see what I wanted to order, and then order it to time it to like when I was like pretty much back.
Wow.
Yeah. And then sometimes, this is embarrassing, I also ordered from like the delivery grocery stores too, because my hotel was in the middle of nowhere, and there was no time. So they have those like Flink, where you can order like hard seltzer, like you can order groceries. So I'm really embarrassed by that. That was me.
Well, then this is a really good tip, because I stayed in a hotel that was out of town, but it was only out of town. It wasn't out of Amsterdam, and it was close to some of the places like Paradiso. So whilst it was across town, it was actually useful for the clubs. You could either catch a tram into town during the day, which was kind of feasible. But when it was busier, when you were at the clubs and you had to get an Uber, it wasn't so bad. It was like a €10 journey from there to there, for example. My hotel had a mini kind of supermarket in the foyer, which was wicked. So like, we're talking drinks,
Oh, that's
talking
nice.
food. So choose your Mine was NM. I think NM Hotel. I don't know if they're. I think that's right, but that was a decent chain. Fair enough. Good, nice, clean, sorted, good food, and it was available 24/7. And that probably would save you the hassle and the grief of ordering and sort of planning like that. So choose your hotel wisely next year when it's the 30th anniversary. And I would probably book early because it was busy,
Yeah.
right? It was busy this year in Amsterdam.
Yeah, so I booked my hotel about like 6 to 9 months in advance
Ah,
because well I'm booking, so I'm a like a member on booking.com or whatever. So if you book early, like you don't have to pay till you
Yeah.
get there. Like you could cancel whatever. So like I could book something now for next year on booking.com and not stay there. At least I have I always kind of lock in places.
Clever.
I did the same for did the same for New Year's in Germany. I stayed at the Diamond Capsule Hotel. It was very simple. Downstairs, there was a vending machine. I did try to buy stroop waffles from the vending machine. They were expired. I ate them anyway, but they were definitely like expired. So I did not, yeah, those kind of things I didn't think through. If I was staying at a regular hotel, I would have done my grocery shopping here. That's what I do for Tomorrowland, actually. I know there's nothing by the Press Hotel. I go to my local grocery store, stock up on like wine, chips, grapes, protein bars, all the stuff I need for the room because there's a fridge. So that's fine. I don't need to order like groceries. But in Amsterdam, I figured, oh, I'll just find a place. Like, I don't need that. But no, my hotel was in the middle of nowhere. There was at the Diamond Capsule Hotel, people don't even work there. It's all like kiosks and stuff.
Yeah, self-service.
Self-service. So something to know, and there's no fridge. So just if I were to stay there again, just be prepared that like you either, if I do want like to order stuff, I have to order stuff, or like bring a cool box and then put the cool box in the room for the drinks. But that's
So
like,
it's a good thing to do your research before you arrive next year to choose wisely. If I'm staying in a hotel, the last thing I want is self-service because the reason you're in a hotel is pretty isolated anyway. For me, I'm like, give me some connections, probably. Some people not so. But again, just think about these things next time you're booking your hotel for A.D.E or wherever you go. I'll be honest, I've been quite lucky. There was one time I stayed at Amsterdam Dance Event, I got an Airbnb and I got bed bugs. True story.
oh my God.
No, I tell a lie. My apologies. It wasn't even Airbnb. My friend Tom booked it and it was a hotel, but it was a small hotel and we had bed bugs and that was a
Ugh.
bad one. We had to move. We had to leave. It was not good.
That's
So
horrible.
yeah, that was a while back though. I think the standards have increased a bit now. That was the 10th. This was my 10th anniversary of A.D.E. I think that's right. I'm saying that.
Oh my God, you went 10 times?
Yeah. How many times have you been?
Well, do you count full times or just times?
Well, not like going through sort of Central Station to somewhere else. I mean, actually partaking in Amsterdam Dance Event.
No. I mean, like being there. Okay, all right. I'll clarify. So 2016, I went to like one day of A.D.E. I think I went to like one or two events. Okay,
Yeah.
so 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2023, 6 times. 6 times.
Yeah, it's good.
But I've done the full. Well, I did the full conference experience. I think 2018, 2019, and 2023. And then I don't know. So whatever. Let's just say it's my 6th time. It gets confusing because there's so much. Like, what do you count as A.D.E? Just going to a couple events or like doing the full thing?
Well, this is what I'm saying. The reason I ask is because arguably I think this was the best one ever. I'm not just saying it because it's
loved
the
it.
most recent. I think actually out of all of them I've been to, for organisation, for cohesiveness, if that's the thing, from sort of event to event to getting in to getting out, all that kind of stuff, apart from some Uber issues. And for me, I think it was the best one ever. So Amy, what do you think?
I think so too. I think also just I went into it with a better perspective than in the past. I still did a lot of stuff, but I just feel like I'm a pro. Like I just feel like I'm a pro now, and I know that okay. After AMF, I leave my stuff in the storage point, put my clothes on for the train. Like, I know like I said, I made some stupid decisions with like ordering things, whatever. If you want a chicken sandwich in the middle of the night, I'm just going to get a chicken sandwich in the middle of the night. I'm not going to think about that. But
you
yeah,
said pro. Did you get an A.D.E Pro Pass? Because that was a pro. That's what pros get.
Yeah. No, I gave mine to Raj. Shout out to Raj.
Okay, because obviously you've got to get in and get out. So those are the things. Do you think that's worth it, by the way? Because that's actually a really good talking point as well. If this was the best one ever, this thing here, it gives you all the detail, it gets you in. You can buy a pass, or for myself and Amy, we had press passes because we were reporting on the event and being part of it. So this kind of gets you into everything. The hotel, the conferences, the clubs, if there's space, and lots of other things. So do you think a pro pass for somebody watching this is a good purchase? Now I think this is maybe like €600, right?
So I'll give you a case study. Met 2 Canadians at Elro. They
Yeah.
paid €1,000 each for the Pro Pass. They did not use it. They did not, like, they were in the hotel a lot. Like, they did not go out as much as probably they wanted to, just because the sheer exhaustion. Like, you always think you're going to do more at A.D.E than you do. That's just a fact. If you're somebody who's an up-and-coming industry professional and you have your own business where you can claim this as a business expense, I'd say go for the Pro Pass, because you get access to the conference, you get access to the networking events, you also get access to an email database where you can like directly email people that you want to meet. So I would say do that. But if you're just going to party, it's not worth it, because you have to wait in a really long line to get into events, and it's not guaranteed that you'd get in.
So it's an interesting conversation, because a lot of people go for the parties, but actually that's not necessarily where the business is done. But it's a great chance to see some DJs you've never seen before. And like, for example, Katama, loads of people had not seen him live. So hence his party was absolutely packed, and all positive things come from it. Everyone was like, oh, wow, this guy's amazing. You know, what a great set. His audience are really young and active and engaged, and, you know, wow, well done. That's the kind of showcase you want at Amsterdam Dance Event, because good news travels fast. We were at Avion, for example, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we went to see Avion, who's been interviewed on this show, and you can go and watch that interview anytime. It's on our YouTube, on our Instagram as well. So it was nice to go and put a face to a name in that respect, because we hadn't caught up face to face. So there's lots of different perks, but if it's a you can look at it from a professional point of view, where you go and meet people during the day, make contacts. If you're a DJ and producer and looking to get an agent or something like that, then this is a good thing to do. But I don't think you can go 24 hours for 5 days a week. I think it's too much. And that doesn't reflect well on you either, because if by day 4 you're having a professional discussion but you're hanging, you're not putting yourself in the best light, right?
Yeah, no, that was like me in 2019. I did try to do that. And in 2019, my objective was pushing my previous podcast, the Drop Bass Not Bombs podcast. This was before I started working for EDM House Network, obviously well before I met you. And yeah, I went in full on, like every day I was at the conference with my lanyard at 11 a.m. So like through all the sessions, all the networking events, all the mixers, then did all the parties, then went back to the conference, went to documentaries. I went to multiple documentaries. Like, how did I do all that?
But to watch a documentary, that's not a good way to spend time at A.D.E, in my opinion, because you can't talk to anyone. But
actually, I want to challenge you on that, because wait until you hear what 2 of them were. One of them was a documentary about the underground rave scene in Georgia, the country, not the state. And when I was doing Drop Bass Not Bombs, I was all about raving for a cause, you know, partying for charity. And so after the documentary, they had a little talk, like a panel, so you could ask questions, and a little networking, like mixer. So for me, it was cool, because like raving in Georgia is like, it's very underground. It's illegal. There's a lot of conflict going on there. So that kind of tied in. And then the second movie that I saw was the Daft Punk Interstellar 555 film, but in a real cinema. So I think that was, okay, maybe not the best use of my time during A.D.E, but as a Daft Punk fan, I've only watched that film on YouTube, so seeing it in a real fancy cinema, like, I don't know, I thought that was really cool.
That is a good thing.
When you get to do that?
I definitely would have done that, because I've got the DVD of Interstellar, because it's that good. So yeah, that was, you know what, those things, I mean,
okay.
And we did show the Tomorrowland After movie once at A.D.E as well in cinema. So yeah, I mean, who am I to say? However, it's not necessarily how I would spend my time if I'd spent $1,000 on a ticket to a cinema. Do you know what I mean? Like, because that's an hour or whatever. So you've got to use your time wisely. Also, don't wake up before midday. No point.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
literally, it's like Ibiza. Just chill out in the morning, get some sleep, and then go hard from midday onwards until sort of, I don't even know, 4 a.m. And then that's your day. So yeah, good luck if you're going to do that next year. I met loads of people. USBs, right? Let's talk about USBs. I've got one here unopened. I'm going to open it and shout out to, this is Josh. 7 tracks, 7 days, releasing 22nd to 28th. I've not got around to putting this in yet. Not had a chance. But if this was a link, I will have listened to it. So for me, don't use USBs.
How many did you get?
I got 6, which is all good. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've got one in there, which I just put in because I knew I was going to talk about it today. Yeah, USBs. Don't worry about it. Save the planet. Just send me a link. It's all good. I might start a campaign called Single USBs. You know, like, you know, bye-bye USBs as well. Like, we're working with bye-bye plastic. I might sort of try and get rid of single-use USBs, because I think they're damaging to the dance music industry. So maybe we can partner with bye-bye plastic on that front. Bye-bye USBs. You know what? Genuinely, here's a little off-topic, Amy. And because I spent I don't know if I told you I went to Brazil. This isn't about that. I had a real drama with my USB putting it in the Pioneer record box.
Oh,
All
what
right.
happened?
And it didn't work. And nor did my
Oh
backup.
my
And
God.
the thing was, I used Tractor. So Tractor was slow loading. And I was like, hang on a minute. I'd used it like 4 times the same week. So I'm like, okay, 5th gig. I'm like, Tractor should be working. Something's not happening. Oh, it's the mixer I needed to download. They had a different mixer, which I didn't have the firmware for. It was just taking a while to do that. So I was like, I put my USB in. So I wasn't planning on using my USB. Put that in. And I didn't take my second USB because I wasn't planning on using my first one. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't take 2. The point is I should have taken my second one
Oh
because
my God.
my USB was broken because I must have pulled it out just a moment too soon. And that's how fragile the dance music industry system is with USBs. I'm certain there's a better way. Somebody watching this must invent a better way to play music. And I don't know if streaming's the right way because that means you needed the internet. So Beatport Stream is only good if you've got the internet. And if you're in the middle of a field in, out or wherever, you're not guaranteed that. So this stimulated a question to loads of DJs. Like everyone I asked, I said, how many USBs do you take? The minimum was 5. Every touring DJ has a
What?
minimum of 5 because they do not trust the system. Now, if you're doing that, that screams to me there's a problem in the industry,
Oh
right?
my God.
Because really and truly, if it was a
That's
great
crazy.
system, I'd only need to take one because I'd trust it and it
Yeah.
would work. If you I think Lost Frequencies had 12, and I even tried to buy one off Kolsch because mine was broken. I was like, I need one today. Can I buy yours off you? He was like, no chance. I'm like, well, it's worth asking, right? So it was just an interesting, and I asked a few people the same in Amsterdam because Oliver Heldens used SD cards and he had backup USBs and he had like a pack of 12. Like literally so many USBs. So there you go. There's a little insight into behind the scenes at Amsterdam Dance Event and at the festivals. If you're a touring DJ, you probably need a minimum of 5 or 6 USBs to be safe because if you've got 4 and they don't link, you need 4. So there's straight away. So, you know what I mean? And if you're using one and it does link and it doesn't work, you need a backup, so on and so forth. So here's a bit of advice. If you're a touring DJ or planning to be a touring DJ, you might want to buy at least 4 USBs for your music. And they all will have exactly the same thing on. So that's time as well. There you go. There's a free
Crazy.
tip learned from Amsterdam Dance Event. What did you learn, Amy?
Ooh, what did I learn? Oh my God. Put me on the spot.
Well, okay, what was the thing you
What
didn't
did I
you now know that you didn't, and it can be anything. Like it could be personal. It could be like like I must always wear comfortable trainers. That's a learn.
Yeah, to like stop, like just dress more comfortably.
Always
Don't
take an umbrella
plan-
to ADE. That's the lesson because you never know what the
Yeah.
weather's going to be like.
Yeah, plan better outfits. Don't schedule so many things.
Okay, there's 2.
I just feel like I learned a lot from every place I went. I learned from the Tomorrowland Expo. That was really cool, just learning about the history of Tomorrowland. I learned a lot from the people that I met. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's not like one specific lesson I took away. Well, I guess so. I interviewed Ferry Corsten at Transmission Festival about Goriella, and I'm really proud of this one question that I asked him. So originally he started Goriella with Tiesto. So I asked him like, would you consider continuing on with somebody else? And what I didn't know is he asked Armin van Buuren if Armin would do it with him, and Armin said no, that was his thing. And then so he decided to do it on his own. So I think that's the most interesting thing I learned because I didn't know that.
That's good. Goriella, what a tune. All right, so tell me about. You've just mentioned you've name dropped Ferry Corsten there. Who was the best person you met at A.D.E this year? Not the best, maybe that's the wrong question. Your favorite, your personal favorite.
Okay, so Ferry and I know each other already, so I can't include him. He's been a guest on my previous podcast, and they know me really well, which is why they set up the interview. I think my favorite person I met this year was Danik. I thought Danik was really nice. I went to his pizza party. It was the first event I went to. I was just surprised at how long he stayed there. He was there from start to finish, okay, here's everything that happened. Meeting fans, taking pictures, having pizza. He did a Q&A. He dropped like unreleased music. And then people could submit their demos and he would play it on the speakers and respond. He was there for hours, at least 3-4. I think I left before he left.
It was his event, right?
Yeah, but there's other events with DJs where like the DJ's there for like an hour, and there's openers and other people. Like it was his event and it was intimate, but like I was just impressed. Like of his involvement. Because I've gone to other events like this where like it's with this person and they're like there for 30 minutes, they take 5 pictures, and then now you're with like somebody else, you know? So I don't know. I had good conversations with him. I asked him a bunch of, I kind of like impromptu interviewed him. You guys can check that out on our Instagram. I really liked his engagement with the fans, and he gave really long answers to people's questions. It just, you could tell he really appreciated the support. So I enjoyed meeting him. I never met him before.
Nice, Dan. He's a good guy. He's also Hardwell's best mate. Do you see him when him, Hardwell and Dyro were together? There was a few photos. That's always nice. A bit of a throwback. Okay, so if that was your favourite person, what was the thing you saw that you wish you'd went to? There was lots.
Yeah, there's a lot of the things that I missed. That banana rave
with Thomas Newson and Marco V.
Yeah, like I didn't even know about that. Like that would have been great for the content. That would have been awesome. Obviously, I didn't make it to 1001 track list. I had an issue with the Uber. Like would have liked to have gone to that even just for a little bit. But I think the banana. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really missed. That banana thing looked cool.
I was disappointed I didn't get to go to Ketama, because I could have, and I just chose unwisely. Lessons I was a little bit gutted I didn't make the crane because there was loads of events and one of our friends there. It would have been easy to get in, but obviously I didn't even attend there, so I was a bit gutted about that. Also a bit gutted I didn't make the loft because I wanted to pass by there. Which is at the top of the Amsterdam Tower. So there was some sunrise sets open, like sort of happening. That would have been nice to have gone to. But again, you kind of have to go, I can't make everything. And also we were working. So I needed my voice. I needed to kind of be wise, and we were doing sort of long sessions. So again, you kind of have to go, well, it's work first, play later. And we did play, but just not as much as I would have liked. And also it's not a holiday. So you can't really go to everything you'd like to go because you've got a job to do. You wouldn't, if it was like Monday in London, you wouldn't be, you know, at the top of the Shard at 6 a.m. with another doing a closing set, then head to work in Euston at 9. You know what I mean? So why would you do it in Amsterdam? So yeah, it's just kind of like that. And that's kind of one of the things, because you see so much of this stuff that you missed and you try and keep across everything. But I didn't even get to open my social until the evening. So I'm like, oh no, that happened. Well, that was there. Oh really? Oh, I missed that. That's the only negative, which is a positive because it makes you want to go back, is that FOMO is real, even when you're there. You're in amongst it. You could be walking past a place and there's a boat on the canal and you're like, whose is that and why aren't I on it? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And yeah, there was rainbows in Amsterdam. There was great people, great coffee, good conversations, great music, good parties, good energy, lots of people, new faces and old faces, and celebrations of the past, the present and the future. And let's just talk about that because there was lots of announcements whilst we were there. One of them including Armin van Buuren and his classical album. And he's been playing the piano, and I just wanted to sort of shout out to Armin van Buuren because he was, I think he may have been the busiest at A.D.E this year. I think he takes that because he literally was everywhere, driving a pink Armada Porsche around, which is nice.
So
he
cool.
was at a run club with One World Radio in Tomorrowland, early doors. That was like a 6 a.m. start. Then, and that was running around Amsterdam. Then he was doing interviews. Then he was doing back-to-backs with Marlon Hofstadt and Kiki at AMF.
Kiki, yeah.
And he was doing other ones as well. Then he announced his classical album, which is already out now, and he's revealed that it was one take. So if you haven't seen that, go and search out Armin van Buuren's piano album. I tried to quiz him about it at the summer, and he wouldn't give an inch. He said, oh, it's just happening. I'm still practicing. Then he recorded it, and now it's available. So yeah, I just wanted to shout out Armin van Buuren because he doesn't need to do this. I don't know how he does, and I mean, it's incredible that he does because he was also doing his State of Trance radio show with Ruben and had loads of guests in there as well. So that would, we're talking about you can't do business and pleasure. He was literally up 24 hours a day for 4 days in his own city, and he definitely made the most of it. So I doff my cap to Armin van Buuren. He takes in the old days, it would have been called Kane of the Year award in like mixed mag or DJ. It's not so much that now. It's more the person who did the most without drinking. Probably that's the best way to say it.
I think I saw something with Lily Palmer come by too.
Yeah.
Like he was everywhere. Every time I opened Instagram, I'm like, oh my God, this guy, like, did he clone himself? Like, how has he had so many events in one night? How did he get around Amsterdam? I guess in a Porsche you get around faster, but
well,
geez.
You get stuck behind delivery drivers or people dropping food off to Amy in the early hours, but that's another story. But yeah, Armin definitely was working hard, and he was running. Like, his wellness is on point, his music's on point, his collaborations and his community are on point, and he's connecting, connecting with Kiki and connecting with Marlon Hofstadt, and been inspired by Armin van Buuren for years. They are really smart moves because, he's connecting with new audiences. That is itself is genius. Lily Palmer, I think, came by the studio to join in on his radio show. Just really clever. I mean, he's seen a lot, he's done a lot, traveled a lot, but it still takes a lot of energy and a lot of smart thinking and a lot of good people around you to be able to do what he's doing. So obviously he's got everything in the right place at the right time. So congratulations, Armin van Buuren. Yeah. Super. And also, I forgot to mention his techno trance with Adam Beyer as well, because Adam Beyer was doing, he also went on the radio show as well. Incredible. Anyway, go and follow Armin van Buuren. Check out his album Piano. Congratulations. All right, who do you want to give a shout out to? Who made your life, or who made your A.D.E for you? Who was it? Musically, is in person. Maybe we don't even know them because they're not famous or anything like that. Who made your A.D.E?
So many people. I want to shout out the 2 Canadians that I mentioned. So I want to shout out Cameron and Krista. So I went to Elro alone. I invited Adam, but he was unavailable. And then I invited somebody else who were unavailable. And keep in mind, I had been at Transmission all day. I was at Transmission from like 4 p.m. till like 9. And then I went to go meet some old American friends at a bar until like 11. And then I went to Elro. It was freezing. I was tired. I was alone. I was kind of like, I don't really want to be here, like kind of going in with bad vibes. I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm starving. Like I didn't eat anything. So I go to the bar. I'm like, whatever, I'll get a drink because it's Elro. Like it's perfect for the content. I need to be there for the page. So I'm like, let me get a drink and like settle in. And this Canadian guy comes up to me and starts asking me about the recycle token, like what that means, like how that system works. And we started talking, and then I ended up hanging out with him and his friend Krista, and they were just great. Like I ended up hanging out with them the whole time at Elro. I ended up seeing them on Saturday too. And it was, I mean, obviously I have a ton of friends in the scene, but it was nice to meet like 2 cool people from Canada. And we were roasting each other because their team beat my team to go to the World Series. Like the Blue Jays beat the Yankees. So we had like some jokes, and I don't know, like they made that experience really, really great for me. And obviously I was working at Elro, but I kind of felt also like a normal visitor, just like having a drink, having a dance. So I love that. What about you?
That's what go to the raves for, though, isn't it? Not so much when you're working, but I always remember we'd drive to a place or wherever, and you've never been there. Whilst you know your friends, energy sort of finds energy, so you always kind of align with people on the edge of the dance floor or at the front, and that's always part of the things. That used to be the reason we went to the club, right? To go and just be around people that are in the same mindset, and obviously there's always going to be a conversation with someone who's kind of at the same place you are, because there's a connection straight away, right? Like just trying to find out where you're from, and then you can start roasting each other.
Yeah.
But look, you know what? All over for me. If you came by the Amsterdam, I was pretty much tied in a good way. I was in one place. I couldn't really leave. So if you wanted to see me, you kind of had to come and see me, not the other way around. And you know what? This is not a brag, Amy, but I just mentioned earlier on, I was 10 years of A.D.E. You can see some of my first years. I was in the back of a car interviewing Lost Frequencies, Oliver Heldens, another. I should really share those videos. And that was I think those were like 9 years ago. And here they are. I was the guy waiting for them to come to see us. And we had to hope that they would pass, even though they, at that point, were not as well known as they are now. I mean, Lost Frequencies was literally at the start of his career, as was Oliver Heldens. So much that Oliver Heldens celebrated 10 years of Hell Deep this year, right? So he's there, I'm there. We're in the back of this car talking about A.D.E radio. We don't really know each other that well, because obviously this is A.D.E and they've just started out, and I'm kind of trying to break through as well. And then and I've literally been at every point in Amsterdam dance event. I've been the person who went to see the clubs and meet the people, stand outside the hotels trying to get them to get their attention and say hello, to be seen. And then I've been outside without an umbrella. I've been outside with an umbrella. I've been outside without a mic and with a mic. And I've then sort of tried to film some stuff. And, people have then started to recognize me along the journey, to the point where now people were coming to me in a building to say hello. And that meant so much, not for an egotistical way, not to say, hey, look at how far I've come, because it's not like that. What I'm saying is that I hope that inspires someone somewhere doing the same thing. But what you have to realize, if you are doing that, it's not to say I've made it, but it's taken me 10 years to get into a place, right? And these things do not happen overnight. They do sometimes, because TikTok exists and sometimes people get lucky and you can go viral and it can change everything. But that's literally the 1 in 2 million, the 1 in 3 million. So you can play that waiting game and you can also buy a lottery ticket and you can also hope you win that as well because you've got about as much chance, all right? That's one way of doing it. Or the other way is to just try and do the work. Put the work in, turn up, repeat, turn up, repeat. Take the rejections. Hope that they open up the USB, but then realize it's 2025 and I should send links. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying to you. If you're watching this or listening to it, this stuff takes time and you learn. And if you don't learn, then you won't grow and you won't be better next time. But just like Amy's just said now, reflecting on the Amsterdam dance event, I didn't eat before I went to Elro. That's one thing you won't do next year because you know that I can't do that because it's not going to be the best thing for me. So what do I change? As a producer, as a DJ, as an artist or an act, or as a manager or as an agent, these are the things that's why you go to these places to learn. You might not even meet anyone, but actually it's the self-learn that you take away and grow as a person individually that you take to the next Amsterdam dance event. And because of the things you've done and you've learned, you become a bigger, better, more wholesome person. And that could attract a new person into your life because you're ready for that person to enter. I'm just saying it takes a long time, 10 years. I was proud of myself for being 10 years. I'm like, yeah, great. Well done.
Aw.
Now let's do another 10 years because I have no idea what it will look like in 10 years. The scene is changing so fast, and that's why we go to find out what it's going to look like next year. So yeah, that's kind of, for me, it was a really nice Amsterdam dance event because it was reflective. It was, I was present, and I'm very much looking forward to the future. And I think that's what Amsterdam dance event is. So yeah, if you're planning on going, I would definitely go. You don't have to go for 5 days, but you should definitely go for at least 24 hours. I would recommend 48 to 72, whatever you want to do. Do what you can, but go because you will learn from it, and that's the most important.
Great advice. Very wise.
Yes, because I didn't drink. Well, I'll tell a lie. I did drink, but I didn't drink. I went with the intention of not drinking because I'm not drinking that much, but actually we had an Amsterdam mixer at One World Radio in Tomorrowland, the expo, and I even invented my own cocktail. It was the A.D.E Tiki, and I don't know if you saw the videos, but it was like a rum punch with pineapple, with ice, and there was some cinnamon on top that got lit. It was very good.
That sounds really good.
It was delicious. I probably drank too many, to be honest. But anyway, everybody was ordering them, which was nice. So if you came to the Amsterdam dance event and came to the Tomorrowland Expo and had an A.D.E Tiki, I salute you. I'm trying to get them at Tomorrowland next summer. So
Ooh, I want one. Yeah.
It was a hot drink. It looked good on the gram as well. So yeah, I'm sure I can get it somewhere. I just don't know where. I'll try and get it at somewhere like Terra Solis in Dubai. I'll also try and get it at somewhere like the Crystal Garden. There'll be one bar that does it next year. I just need to find out. It might even be we have our own bar at the radio station. That would be good. I've been trying to do that for years. But anyway, that's another conversation for another time. Hey, there's been lots going on in dance music as well, not just A.D.E. Have you seen?
What specifically? Yeah,
I wanted to, just on this, and I know we're not really we'll do this another time. I've noticed a lot of New Year's Eve events popping up. Have you seen?
No.
Okay, so let's end on this, otherwise it'll be a whole new episode. But just a little bit of news, because we are kind of news-based. There is a newfound thirst for New Year's Eve events. My reasoning is this. Swedish House Mafia have just announced they'll be in San Francisco for New Year's Eve. It was revealed in an Axwell interview I did at Tomorrowland Brazil, so you can go and watch that. That's what he alluded to. So the Swedes are going to be in San Fran. Martin Garrix is going to be at La Rock in Argentina, Brazil, excuse me. So he's going to be there for New Year's Eve. And also, David Guetta has announced he's going to be performing on New Year's Eve. Now, those are arguably three of the biggest electronic dance music artists in the world right now, and they're all doing New Year's Eves. So I'm thinking, it used to be a thing. It used to be the biggest night of the year. Everyone was like, yes, come. And then it kind of dropped off because everyone was like, the people that go to New Year's Eves are not my kind of people. But now, with those three, I think you'll see a whole load of new Year's Eve events, which I'm predicting now, Amy, on in 2025, November, I'm going to say 2026, next year, Universe will host a New Year's Eve party. I'm just putting it out there. Watch this.
I would love that.
Come back and circle to this moment. All right, I'm telling you, there will be a New Year's Eve event in Ibiza at Universe, just a matter of time. So that's my prediction. There you go. There's a little bit of news in what is a conversation about A.D.E. Is that good?
Yeah, that's great. I'd love to go. It'd be way warmer than here.
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. Where would you go if you could choose? David Guetta, I think, is in Saudi, or Martin Garrix and La Rock or the Swedes in San Fran, which one would you go to?
Do you say Saudi Arabia?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think I can. Can I go there as an American? I guess. Oh yeah, there's like a
Anyone
bunch of
can-
stuff. Oh, they're doing an Elro there now too. Wait,
Anyone can go anywhere, so just pretend you could go anywhere without.
wait, I'm not.
Don't let us know
I'm not
about your
gonna go there.
visa issues.
Wait,
Which
I don't
countries
think
you're
any
banned
of
from?
the. Wait, I don't think I'd go to any of the. Wait, can you repeat
Really?
that? So one was in Saudi Arabia, one was in San Francisco. Where's the other one?
You get to choose one of these New Year's Eve events. It's David Guetta in
Okay.
Saudi, it's Martin Garrix in La Rock, and you've got the Swedes in San Fran.
Where's
You're gonna
La
choose one.
Rock?
In Brazil.
None of these sound appealing to me. I guess Brazil.
You have to choose one musically.
So
Which
sorry.
one would inspire you the most?
Martin Garrix in Brazil.
Okay, there you go. So I think I would, I'd like to see the Swedes in San Fran. I think that could be good, only because I've not been to San Francisco, so I think that's why I would choose that one. Anyway, there we go. What an addition. It's been a good chat. It's been nice
So
to
funny.
reflect, and it's nice to kind of talk about some of the things that have been going on. We've got many more things to talk about, so look out for another future edition of 10 Days in Dance, where we will do 10 stories about the world of electronic dance music. There is lots to talk about, including new albums. Fred Again's been going crazy. Yeah, all of that.
Man.
That's just literally scratching the surface. So look, tune in next time, and if you need some information, go back and listen to the previous editions, because there's lots to listen to. All right, from me, Adam K, thank you very much. We'll see you very soon.
And for me, Amy Freenet, aka Am's Unicorn, we'll see you next time. Bye.